Hello and welcome back. Righty ho. Um, in this video lesson, we're going to be looking at simple construction for walls. Okay, and this lesson is a progression on the previous video in the series on how to use the wall tool. Before we do that, what we're going to do in this video is we're going to clean up the practice walls from the previous lesson. And that means I get to introduce you to the 3D view and delete commands. Once we've cleaned everything up, we're going to then grab a couple of different wall types. One will be external for the outside walls, and the other will be an internal wall for internal walls. Okay, so we can create the different room spaces. Okay. So, also please do not forget to like, subscribe, share this channel so I can help building design students and professionals. Okay, so first things first, let's go and clean up those practice walls. Okay, and what we're going to do is I'm going to go and we're going to introduce them to the 3D view. Okay, so the 3D view just helps us see everything in a realistic view, because plans and elevations sometimes don't give us enough information, or we can't actually see everything. Right. So the easiest way to get to 3D views is to go up here to the top of your screen. Okay, and these are your super quick shortcuts and commonly used keys. And you'll see here a little house in a 3D view. You just want to click on that. That's going to bring up the 3D isometric view. Okay, so click that, left click, and there we go. Okay, so there's our topo solid. Okay, so that's our land. There's the floor that we want to keep, and here are the practice walls that we did last time. So I just want to get rid of them. Now, to move around in the 3D view, you do have a view cube up here. That's handy if you don't have a mouse. But the easiest way to move around in 3D view is to hold the shift key down. Either of them will work. And the middle mouse button down at the same time. Okay? Shift, then hold your middle mouse button down. And you'll see that the cursor changed to a couple of circular arrows. Now when I move my cursor around, I can now move my view around, orbit around. If I want to zoom in, I just use my mouse key. If I want to pan, I just hold down the middle mouse button. Okay, so again, zooming, zoom out, scroll out with the middle mouse button, zoom in with your middle mouse button. If I want to pan, hold the middle mouse button down to move things around. Right. Now, deleting things is really easy in Revit. All you need to do is select. You have two options. Number one is you can just hit the delete button. Okay, so option one, delete button. Option two, I'll use that to select this one here, is I can type in DE. And DE is the short command for delete. So I'm just going to undo that using Control Z. Select, delete key, select, DE for delete. Two ways of doing that. Okay, right, now let's get back into our ground floor and actually build some walls. So, gone into my ground floor plan. Okay, so just a quick refresher. We go to the wall command, and I'm going to do the external wall first. Okay, now this is the Australian template, and a common method of construction in Australia is called the brick veneer wall. So I'm going to use this one here. Okay, so brick veneer 250 timber, very, very common in Australia. So I'm going to select that one. Okay, and I want to double check a couple of things before I build this wall. So location line, finish face exterior. Yes, that is correct. My base constraint from the ground floor, correct. My top constraint up to the ceiling, correct. So all of those Revit has remembered from my previous lesson and the previous use. Okay, so again, because it's finished face exterior and I want those bricks to be on the outside, I need to work in a clockwise direction. So left click, drag across, drag down. Ooh, now I clicked that button a little bit earlier and that was purely unintentional. Okay, but this gives me the opportunity to introduce these little grip buttons here. Okay, so these little blue dots. So if I want to, rather than drawing in another wall, all I need to do is hover over that little blue dot, grab with my left mouse button, keep it holding down, and then I can drag to reposition that wall. That is the best way of doing that. Right, back to the command. Now I've got to go clockwise again, and there, and those are the four walls. Really, really simple. Now a check for this is to go into my 3D. Okay, I'm going to zoom in, pan, and you'll see here that we have a brick hatching or a brick infill on the outside. Okay, that is what I wanted, and you'll see on the inside that there is nothing there. Okay, it's white, which would indicate plaster board or something like that. And that is how these walls are built. Okay, so by going into 3D, I get to double check. Okay, now I'm going to go into ground floor plan, repeat this command, and now we're going to choose an interior wall. So wall, go to my drop down list, and I've got stud timber 90. That means 90 millimeters. Perfect. Okay, again, common construction methodology used in Australia or countries where timber framing is common. Okay, so 90 millimeter stud timber. If you're in imperial measurements, it equals roughly 4 by 2 inches. So it's a piece of 4 by 2 if you wanted to work in those terms as well. Again, double check my location line. It doesn't matter if I'm exterior because I'm not trying to line anything up at the moment. My base constraint is correct. My top constraint is correct. Okay. And all I'm going to do here is just draw a couple of, I might do 3 walls. And I'm just going to draw them something like that. Okay. This doesn't need to make architectural sense. We are just practicing. Okay. And you'll see here that this is a brick veneer 250 timber. Okay. That wall there is substantially thicker than the stud timber 90 because they have different measurements. So we get lots and lots of visual cues from Revit when we're doing the right thing, okay? And if these were reversed, I'd be going, something's not quite right, okay? And if I knew about it, that is a visual cue. Quick look in 3D. Okay, and again, shift, middle mouse button, panning around, I can see, or orbiting around, you know, using the 3D, I can see what's going on. So as you can see, it didn't take very long to place 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 walls, and all of a sudden we have the basic structure of a house already there. It doesn't take long. Okay, so we'll leave that video here. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon for the next lesson.